Hello, hello, everyone. Hope you're well. And salutations from London. It's Yogi here. I hope you've been well and having a good time today on this Wednesday, which is halfway to weekend. So, sincere apologies. I scheduled today's time incorrectly. Instead of a quarter to 9, or 45 past 8, I set it to 10:45 or something like that. Ridiculous. Constantly confused with 24-hour clock. So, but here we are. Today is our Wednesday SAL, and I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching. So every Wednesday, we get together and appreciate and celebrate Kim Jacobs' work, stitch together a piece of her design. And today, this is the piece of my choice. Currently, I have two of her work that's in my whip. And one is dry flowers. Many of you are doing the dry flowers as well. And I also have this piece, which is a beautiful, beautiful design. It's called Valentine Nook. It's so whimsical. And if you don't believe me, let me show you this beautiful mug-up, not this one. Oh, we're professionals here. Professionals. So look at this beautiful design. And this is almost square in shape, which is a little bit unusual for, well, not unusual, but more rare for heaven and earth designs. Heaven and earth tends to be more landscape. This is almost a square shape, and it's got a built-in kind of frame around it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the color scheme is just so pretty and romantic and cozy as well. And look at those two kitties in the front of the booth there, and I can't wait to get to them. I say that every week, and this motivates me to work on it as much as I can. So this piece, I only started maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe only less than 2 months ago. I kind of casually started, but when I saw this mock-up, this beautiful mock-up, I was just thinking, I want the stitches to be nice and chunky, and there's nothing prettier than the chunky 14 counts. So this is where I am right now. So as you can see, I've started from upper left corner and working down in no particular order. And I'll explain my plans here in terms of how I tackle this piece. But let me just show you my app here. So I'm using Saga to track this piece. So I'm stitching the Saga way, which is to follow the number of stitches of each color, upward or downward. I go from minimum to maximum, and this is where I am at this point. So in terms of the entirety of the piece, just give you some idea. This is where we are. So Saga doesn't recognize page definition, so there's no pages, but roughly for this is a mini, by the way. So for mini, it's about 9 pages worth in heaven and earth design terms. And this is where I am in the upper corner there. You know, a little bit to go, but I'm very happy with my progress. And in terms of the actual stats, we like a bit of stats here. Look at the upper left there where it says progress. Currently, I'm on 4.43. Do you think I'll cross the 5% mark today? Who knows? Who knows? And so on the right here, I am going to set up. This is the last session. I'm going to create a new sprint, which is essentially a counter for the time roughly, and also stitch counts. It's kind of interesting to have that number at the end of the session and see how we're doing today. So from here, I am going to show you the area I am planning to tackle today. So if you're familiar with Saga, you can create a user-defined area. So I'm going to highlight the area I'm planning to work on, which is here. So this is a user-defined area of 6 blocks. It's my current sort of comfort zone at the moment as far as, you know, color completion or cross-country type thing. And so this, the last session, last week, I worked on quite a few colors here. So I'm building up to, let me see, which number am I now? Let me just have a look. So I am sorting from, so I'm still, so I'm number about 13 stitches. So the current one is almost done. So it's from 13 stitches per color from here. So I'm in a pretty good place to move forward faster. So the stitch count will go up as I move up the colors. So far so good. But also, you know, if I want to take a rest from this block, what I'm planning to do is to maybe move it up to the upper. Let me just show you what my plan here. I'm working 6 blocks at a time. You can see this block currently, there's still quite a few stitches left. Not that many, but and they're all the same color, so it will be nice and quick. So this is kind of my strategy for this piece because as you can see, let me just switch the markup one more time. There's a built-in frame there. This is not outside the design. The white border is part of the design. So just avoid sort of, you know, monotone and maybe, you know, fatigue of those colors. And, you know, I'm planning to kind of dip in and out of the frames and do a bit of juicy part of it, which is the center bit. And from time to time, if I'm in the mood, I will go outward and work on the frame. So that's my plan for this piece. So let me move it back here and lock the position so it doesn't go anywhere. And I'll keep the view as I stitch, so you get some idea here. But before we start, let's see who is here with me on the chat here. Well done everyone for making it here. I was really shocked when I realized I set the time wrong. So if there's any inconvenience I caused, sincere apologies. So we've got Suzanne here. You're the number 1 today. Medals for Suzanne, the first one. She says, hi everyone. And Susan as well. So we have Suzanne and we have Susan Chamberlain. And she says, hi everyone. River is here as well. About to get dinner, but I'll be back. See you later, River. Enjoy your dinner. Jackie Turner is here as well. Hello, Jackie. Stitching in Oregon. Thanks for coming back to us. And she says, hello, no stitching today as I took my son for his driving test. Oh my goodness, he passed. Congratulations to stitching in Oregon. It's not a small feat. I have not yet got my license, never needed a car. I have driven a couple of times, but that's about it. So well done to your son. Well done. Congratulations. And so now she says, now we have an hour drive home. Yes, but you can drive while you're watching. So hopefully you're not the one driving, right? That wouldn't be good. But really good to have you with us. And Salita as well. Hello. Welcome back. And Gritty. Hello, Gritty. Good to see you. And Vaduhi as well. Welcome back. And Karali? Did I butcher everybody's name? Sincere apologies. But welcome to the chat. And Heather as well. Heather H. And Adri's here as well. Behave yourself, Adri. Good to have you here. And Sarah is here. Welcome everyone. And so, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to start a spot of stitching today. This would be my first stitch right in front of your eyes. And let me pull up my mock-up and the app view for you to track my progress. It might be fun to reference to that. So today, as usual, I'm having my peppermint tea with me to keep me company for this power stitching session. And let me know what you're drinking and which piece you're working on and which piece of Kim Jacobs design. And if you're working on non-Kim Jacobs design, you know, it's about time that we change that. You know, Kim's got beautiful style and quite diverse as well. I love Kim's kind of quite loose yet, you know, precise is not a word, but so much details with her work. And so have a look on Heaven and Earth and pick a design and come to stitch with us. But of course, you're welcome to stitch anything. Just join us. Let me take a sip of my mint tea here, peppermint tea. So this is 14 counts, in case I forgot to mention. 14 counts. And I'm actually working on this piece with DMC floss because I quite fancy the kind of slightly glossiness of the DMC floss. So a lot of pieces I use CXC as well, but for this piece I just thought DMC would be perfect. So I'm going to pick my first color. I think these ones are down from the last session. So today's lucky first number is 3765. 3765. 3765, which is a beautiful blue. But it's got a sort of a hint of green as well. 3765. I can see it. I can see it in my eyes. So when I look at colors, my eyes tend to break down the colors into different kind of hues and tints. I cannot explain it, but I can see a little bit of green and yellow in this. Yes, Adri, I'm so sorry. Yes, I got 2 hours off. I'm terrible with numbers and I constantly struggle with 24-hour clock. And, you know, even though 8:30-ish in UK time has been the recent, you know, regular time, I still manage to get it wrong. So what do you do? What do you do? So next time, if it's super late, if it's not a Monday, check again because I probably got it wrong again. So Monday is probably the only day that I'll do slightly later stream because I have a class. I teach a class on Monday evening and, you know, I come home a little bit later. But otherwise, you know, 8 or 8:30 or 8 o'clock UK time seems to be the sweet spot at the moment. So just keep that in mind. If it looks off, it's probably wrong. But I'm glad you'll make it. You made it here. Well done, everyone. And Adrian always been misbehaved. Yes, that you're the boss of that department of misbehaving. And River says, I'm back. That was a quick dinner, River. What did you have? And let's see. Oh, and Sarah is working on Embo's side. It's one of the Kim's pieces. And let's see. Let's have a look. The next stitch over here. Well, I'm warming up, guys. I'm warming up. So now today, because I'm using Saga, you're able to track the pattern with me as well. So scream in caps if I make mistakes, okay? I'm counting on you. So these lovely big stitches, it's just so beautiful. And because I'm on 13 stitches per color, so I am going to mark them as I go, because as the number of stitches increases, you know, I could make mistake if I don't track it as I go. So one, 2 here, another one here. The warming up session always requires a little bit more concentration here, but it will flow. It will flow at some point. At some point, one hopes. And Jackie Turner is working on the same piece, drinking the same piece as me, or sorry, maybe I missed the last comment. And she's drinking grapefruit soda. Whoa, no sugar. It's pretty hot here in California. And oh wow, oh, more borders. So you're working on this piece as well. I know the borders. See, I'm warming up here, guys. I'm really putting the needles down the wrong corner. Oh, it's all happening here. It's all happening. Let me switch. The ones with golden eye, these are the best. It's a shame they don't make these anymore. Can you see that? These DMC needles with got golden color, gold plated around the eye area, and the eyes are a little bit wider with these needles, which makes it really easy to thread. But for some reason they don't make those anymore. You know, I don't know what they're thinking. So let me track it as I go. And Adri is talking random things. Today is called Brizzle. What are Brizzle? Oh, you mean bread that looks like pretzel? I didn't know they have special names. Heather says, not doing Kim Jacobs, it's illegal to be doing something else. Yes, it is, Heather. How dare you? Yes, Heather must be arrested and put in Yogi's jail, prison, dungeon, somewhere. Yes, of course, you can work on anything you like. Heather says, I'm a monogamous stitcher and knee deep in lady stitching. Oh, wow. Is it the piece similar to retreat, stitching retreat piece, like a painting-esque thing? It's beautiful. I saw the finished piece. I think it's by you as well, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Yes, so you're working on another piece like that. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And already I'm running short on this color. I might need a new one. So I am going to do this one, maybe the last one, before I have to end this color, this thread somewhere. Let me just tuck it over here. And there you go. So we need a new thread here. What number is it? 3765. 3765. Let's have a brand new one. Sarah says no stitch police. No. No stitch police at all. We're rebels. Rebels, we do what we want. Hey, Steve is here. He says hello, hello everyone. Say hello to Steve, our gentleman stitcher. And oh, Suzanne is working on Valentine Nook. Yes, of course. And she's working on 14 count just like mine. Are you using Ada or are you using even weave? 14 count even weave, as we discussed the other day. It actually exists. And she's drinking bubble water. Very nice. And Susan says it's fine to work to be working on something else, and because she is a rebel as well. She's working on Nancy Rosie design. Oh, I love to see what that looks like. Let's have a look. And let's see over here. I'm going to continue with this color. I've got 4 stitches left with this one. So and when it gets to about, over 10 stitches, it gets faster and faster, because with each color there are more stitches involved, and means you don't have to switch color, you just keep stitching. It's nice to do big and chunky stitches. The last few days I've been buried in 25 counts and 28 counts. And so it's such a nice reset to stitch on chunky stitches. I love it. So this is the last stitch of this color. And I'm going to just do a quick tuck in and hide my thread. And the stitching experience on Ada, this is the Ada, it feels so different as well. This one's quite, the texture's slightly, how do I describe it? It's kind of starched, because some Ada is quite soft. It really depends. But this one, you can feel that there's a slightly more starched, so it's firmer in texture. 3765. Let me pop it back. And let's move on to the next color. And let's see who else is joining us. Oh, we have 2 Susans. So it's a Susan Chamberlain and a Susan Barnes. Susan Barnes is joining us as well. And she's working on Aperi by Kim Jacobs. Oh, the one with Bee House. Yes. Gorgeous. And, any one of you haven't seen Kim Jacobs' collection on Heaven and Earth, go have a look. She hasn't got a huge collection like Amy Stewart, for instance, but every single piece is just so beautiful. So if you haven't got one of her designs, go grab one. You won't regret it. And Nicole, hello. Nicole is working on Colorful Jungle by Haid. 20 stitch white diagonal, mostly color completion within the diagonal, but some parking basically just chaos as usual. Yes, it's order in chaos. That's the beauty of it when it comes to parking. So it's all about, you know, managing the seemingly chaos threats. But ultimately, there's a beautiful order to the method. 317, the next one, and it's 13 stitches. 317. 317. Beautiful. So Suzanne is working on Ada. I mean, Ada just feels right for 14 counts. You know, it goes with the kind of chunkiness of the stitches. You don't want fabric that's too fragile or too thin. So here we go, coming from here. Hey, Joyce is joining us. Say hello to Joyce. Stitchy Dutchy. Just thread it through. Oops. I remember this method, you know, as a starting method. Now I'm kind of used to it. I can pull a thread pretty close to the surface of the fabric. But in the beginning, I keep losing it. I kept losing this tail from the beginning. And I had to practice and practice and practice because I'm clumsy like that. So, but now I can, you know, do it 9 times out of 10 in one go. Practice makes perfect. River says, I just have one Sloppy Joe sandwich and some water. Not real hungry. Sloppy Joe, is that a brand or is it a type of sandwich? Sorry, I'm not well versed in the sandwich department. Sloppy Joe. We don't have it here, so it's not a familiar thing. Let me see. Let me mark it as I go so I don't get lost. Sloppy Joe. That sounds very exotic. And one more here to make sure I'm tracking. AG says, Yogi, do you have an advice on hand stretches? Oh, as in exercise. Hang on. And she says, my thumb is hurting quite a bit because I've had a break from stitching. That's weird. Oh, I haven't had a break. I thought that was weird. I thought you had pain because you stopped stitching. So that's strange. Maybe it's withdrawal. Right. Simple ones you can do is to make a fist and squeeze kind of hard, not too hard, and then release. And then keep doing so. And then, or you can make a fist. Let me just so you don't see my big hands, slightly away. And this is a good one to do for any stitcher or anyone doing, you know, yoga in any shape or form, or in front of a computer. You clench the hands into fists and release a few times, and then you incorporate the wrist as well. So you do this and then release, clench a couple of times, and then do it the other way, the odd way. So it might feel very strange in the beginning, and then you go, you know, back and forth a couple of times, and it's even better if you incorporate the elbows and the arms as well, because our body parts are not separate from each other. They will link together, because if you have wrist problems, it could turn into shoulder problems or elbow problems. So just move the arms, and even better, the entire body. But particularly with the wrist, just, you know, the clenching the hands into fists and then release. It's a pretty good one to do. And the rotation, internal, external rotation of the wrist is really good to do as well. So there you go. You can start now. Rajao is here. Hello. Welcome. Adri, but sometimes it's not just the fact you stitch more. I stitch a fair bit as well. Obviously not as much as some of you, but it's also the posture as well, just like any body posture. Maybe you want to adjust the way you stitch, maybe move the arms and give the elbows more support, or something like that, or sitting, you know, your sitting position as well. So there are many factors. Sometimes the pain is not just because it's repetitive, but also the position. You know, you sit when you stitch, or maybe standing. I don't know what position you're in when you're stitching. So, but it's about readjusting, and from time to time, just move around, stand up, and move around as well helps. And I can talk because sometimes I sit here for hours just stitching. So bad example. But ideally, the best thing is to kind of get up and just move around a little bit. So let me make sure that I track the stitches. Suzanne says, I did a bunch of boomerang stitches today. I think finally got it down where they look decent. Yeah, sometimes they look a bit funky, don't they? But a lot of times they just blend in. So I have ones that I literally cannot tell it's been boomerang. But I have ones also, they're kind of, you know, build up. This is slightly thicker build up as well. So it really depends. So I think, you know, practice definitely helps. 1, 2. Oh, how interesting. So there are 2 loose stitches out there. Nikki says, how did I miss the live beginning? Well, I think the chat can probably explain to you, or I can. So I set the time wrong. I set it 2 hours later than what I intended to. So I intended to set it to pretty much our usual time, around 8:30 over here in the UK. But I set it to 10, 10:30 instead, I ask you. So there you go. That's why you didn't get the notification, but I'm glad everybody found their way here. So well done, everyone. Well done. And so 1, 2. Okay, these 2 are done. So I might need to end it here because the thread is pretty short. Pretty short. Yes, Susan. I put the time wrong. Me bad. So next time, if the time looks weird, other than Monday, check again. I probably got it wrong. Okay, 317. 317. Yes, well done, Nikki. You made it. You made it. Gretchen says, Yogi, do you also stitch outside of the live stream? I hope Google translates. Oh, totally fine. Yes, I understood that. Do I stitch outside? Yes, whenever I can. So normally on working days, I don't really have much time other than the evening. So, you know, I do my stitching of the day with you. But on rest days, yeah, I try to, you know, find a piece to work on, you know, that's kind of light and easy, knowing that I'll be doing more in the evening with you. But, oh, you know, the sweet shop, I've been wanting to go back to that piece every day. So I've been putting a little bit. I will do the reveal on Saturday on our Amy Stewart day. Don't put your hopes up, you know. I haven't finished the page or anything, but I have put in a little bit more, a few stitches here and there. And because I just love it. I just want to work on it. So, and also 28 count is kind of a new thing for me. So it's like having a new toy. And it's a new start as well. So I've been sneakily working behind your back. Yes, on my own. There you go. My confession right here. And there's one more stitch here, just a loose one. So I ended the thread there instead of taking the thread over. I just feel better that way because it's quite far away, almost 2 blocks away. So I'm gonna just do this stitch here. I don't mind at all. The majority of the pieces, majority of the stitching, I'm doing here with you. Sarah says, I do like to call a stitch fit. For every 15 minutes of stitching, I have to get up and do 10 minutes of the activity. Very good, Sarah. I mean, ideally, not just stitching, but any kind of sitting down activities like computer and stuff like that. In theory, you know, it's a good thing to get up once an hour is really good. And, you know, maybe every half an hour is even better. But, you know, we're not that disciplined. And particularly when I'm stitching, time just flies. It's just like, I forget. I have no idea. It's been like 2 hours or 3 hours sometimes. But yeah, just get up and get the circulation going and move the wrists, move the legs. You know, it's a very, very good thing to do. Maybe we need to incorporate it in our session to have a timer set every hour, every 45 50 minutes. We just get up and do a little bit of light yoga, some stretching. 160. 160, I think is correct. I'm trying to look at the bold number rather than the other one. 160. And this one I've got 14 now, 14 stitches. Let me take one more thread. It's beautiful purple. 160, this one. I'm going to take one more strand out. So these ones, I cut them relatively short because most of the time I use DMC for 25 counts. So, with 25 counts, you only need tiny bit of the thread. Whereas 14 is a different story. 14, you really feel the floss being consumed. Hey Rose, hello. Rose says slow to live today. You finally made it. I know it was my fault. I set the time incorrectly. So I'm so happy you made it. And Jacqueline says, hi everyone, Yogi. Nobody calls me Jacqueline. It's Jackie. Is it Jackie? I'm working on my autumn heart. Still waiting on my fabric. Well done. Hello, Jackie. Autumn heart. I think I remember. Have we seen that piece before? Trying to keep track of what everybody's working on. I'm always curious. So, starting from here. So I've got 14 stitches. This one is kind of odd one out, away from the rest of the stitches. Let's have a look. I might just take a thread over here. Should be fine. 1, 2. What a beautiful color is this. Natalia is here. Hello, Natalia. She says, hi, everyone. I'm joining SAL. Wonderful. Starting today within the Sunroom by Kim Jacobs. Well done, Natalia. Welcome to the SAL. It's never too late for a great party. You're right on time. Right on time. And yes, Kim's got so many whimsical and beautiful pieces. And Natalia, let me know what fabric count and what thread, what floss you're working it with. Let me mark them. I've got 8 to go. Mystify says, hello everyone. I didn't expect to catch live today. Glad to see everyone. Well done for making to the live stream. I'm a little bit behind on the chat there. Oh, Susan Barnes says, I do have a timer for 30 minutes stitches, then 30 minutes, not on the rotation. What does that mean? So you stitch for 30 minutes and then 30 minutes break? Is that what you mean? Explain. I need to know. Susan Chamberlain says, I'm an old woman. I need to get up and pee regularly. Well, maybe that's a very good biological timer to get you up the chair and pee. Oh, that's so funny. It's your body's natural alarm clock to get you off the chair. Oh, so Gritty's walking her dogs a lot. I think dogs are really good as well because you have to be so disciplined with the time that you have to take them out, walk with them. A lot of people try to keep fit by having a dog. Whereas with a cat, they just do whatever they want and they stay in when they want to. So very, very different kind of lifestyle there. And some people have both, so I don't know how they do it. Let me mark these ones and 4 more to go. Nice and easy. It's getting quicker and quicker, faster and faster as the number moves up. Really fun way of stitching. There, I'm going to just tuck it under here. So this one's 160. I'm going to pop it back on my organizer there and move to the next color. Let's have a look. River says the deranged typewriter. I've put me in a rubber room today, playing a little safer today. Oh, did you travel really far? Yes, the deranged typewriter method. Nikki says, River, why is called deranged? So maybe River can explain her method. So 318, 318, 318. So this one I've got 15 stitches. 2 strands here. Natalia says with her new Kim Jacobs piece, she's stitching on 32 counts, 1/110. Oh, same as Nikki then. Nikki's doing a 32 count 1/1. I'd love to try that actually. And in my mind, do you think 2/1 on 32 counts would be too much? even with DMC, because Nikki's 1/1 with CXC, if I'm correct. So CXC is slightly fuller when it comes to coverage. I'm just thinking if I'm using DMC with 2/1, 10 stitches, be too thick, too bulky. So it's, let me see, 15, they're all down here. Let me have a look. A little knot here, it shouldn't be here. Oh, Susan explains her system, her stitching routine. She says, I have my timer that resets for every 30 minutes. So 30 minutes of stitching, and then she gets up and clean the house. So this is a kind of interesting way of, interesting kind of pattern, similar to folding and frolicking method, isn't it? Your method is stitching and cleaning, you know. So work and play. That's your method. So this one is incorrect, wrong corner. That's very disciplined, because stitching for half an hour, it literally flies, disappears. I think, you know, sometimes when I'm stitching here, you know, normally I do about 3 hours, 3.5. To be honest, if I didn't have a clock, most of the time it feels like maybe just over an hour, something like that. For some reason, when you're stitching, time just disappears. And like the other day on Sunday when we did the new start with Amy Stewart, we're here for 4 hours, but I had no idea. I feel like I'm just starting to flow. And then lo and behold, it was 4 hours. No idea. So I can imagine half an hour, literally, you feel like you've just sat down, do a few stitches, and you have to get up and hoover the house. But when you hoover the house, half an hour seems like a long time. For me, anyway. See, it's getting faster here, as long as I don't make mistakes. This should be... Oh, I've already made one mistake here. Do I want to frog it? Might as well, because it should be quite easy to do at this point. And I think this is the advantage of doing full cross rather than the other way, do one leg at a time. Sometimes I do, because if you do one leg at a time, you do the whole row, and you realize one stitch is incorrect. Literally, you have to frog everything in order to correct one stitch. Danish, that's right. One leg at a time is Danish method. I believe there's another name for it. Is it? I can't remember. There's another name for it. So I think maybe it's safer. If you're doing cross-country type thing or color completion, maybe full cross at a time is probably a better policy. So River's, yes, so River's deranged typewriter is she just goes everywhere. The reason I call my typewriter broken typewriter or deranged or malfunctioning is because I give myself the freedom not to have to complete a certain area. So if you imagine, if you look at Stitching Mummy's method, the way she does it, she did the entire piece like full width, right? And even if you don't do the full width, I think the idea is you pick kind of a fixed area, let's say a page width. You do your typewriting and keep going until you finish the entire page. And what I've decided to do is to give myself the freedom to do the typewriting within initially, maybe one page width as a starting point. But whenever I feel like it, I can start to drift to the second page or maybe the third page without completing the first page, if that makes sense. So for me, that's the malfunctioning part because no typewriter is working that way. Typewriter, as far as I know, if you don't know what typewriter is, you're born post year 2000, year 2000, okay? So you should be banned from the chat. Even though we did have a 19-year-old viewer. But, we embraced her. We didn't judge her. And I hope she knows what a typewriter is. See, I did this too wrong. I need to look carefully. I've already done these two. But I think the as far as the cross-country element of the typewriter method, I think it's quite free. I don't believe there's any restriction in terms of which direction you should be going, as far as my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm a newbie with the method. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just want to double check. Yes, here. Hey, Sharo's here. She says, hello everyone, been here the whole time, but my phone requires charging. Oh, what a nuisance. Battery is a nuisance. But well done for making it to the chat. Stitchy Pfeiffer is here. Good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, you're in the UK, so I can say good evening without feeling guilty. Otherwise, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Pick one. Just pick one that works for you. Nikki says, I think 2/1 32 count is a carpet. And it's got pretty tight with DMC, really. Okay. Because the fabric I've been working on, the 28 counts, it feels quite spacious. You know, the coverage is really good with DMC, but it doesn't feel tight when I put the needle through. So I'm kind of wondering whether that's the case as well with 32. But doesn't sound like that's the case. But 32 1/1 10 stitch, the piece you've done with the studio, it looks pretty good. I wouldn't know that was single strand. The coverage is pretty good. So that's encouraging. Okay, the last one here with this color. Nice and quick. Amazing. There. Three, 1, 8. Back down here. Right. Next one. 16 stitches. Oh, Nikki says, so you tried it. You tried 2/1 on 32 counts, and which is too much. Yes. I think it's no fun stitching if it's too tight to put the needle through. Absolutely. Natalia says she decided to try 32 because of Nikki and Alicia. Yes, I to be honest, I wouldn't have the courage to even try 28 if I didn't see some of you doing it already, and you're still alive and still can see things. The eyes, you know, you didn't go blind just yet. So I thought, well, maybe I give it a go. And same with 32, maybe not quite ready yet, who knows? Maybe the next new start, I might venture into 32, see if I can still see things afterwards. But to be honest, before I tried 28, I thought I was going to go blind. I really thought so, because 28, even 25 took me quite a while to kind of, you know, feel totally comfortable. And the weird thing is, after stitching on 28 and coming back to 25, everything looks so big. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. 3861. 3861. Here we go. So Natalia has posted her whip on our group, and we do have a group, a Facebook group. You're welcome to join if you haven't already. And the last time I checked, we have over 100, or maybe 110 members already. It's only been around for maybe under a month. So well done, everyone. And if you would like to have the link, let me just post it on our chat here. It's also in description. I normally just pop it in description, but I'll pop it in the chat as well for you. There, let me pin it. So this one, I've got 16 stitches moving up. I'm going to mark my stitches as I go. Yeah, I think if you're working on 32 counts, 1/1, definitely CXC is a better option. If 2-strand DMC is too thick, 1-strand DMC is too thin, then single-strand CXC would be ideal. It's like a tongue twister. Yes. And also I think is perfect for Kim's design, because Kim's design is very light and loose and, you know. So I think single strand on that fabric count is just perfect. Because it looks really good. That's the proof of the pudding. Lorraine is here. Lorraine Nicholson. See, I've got the pronunciation correct today, haven't I, Lorraine? She says, hi everyone. I've been here from the beginning. I'm watching on my TV. I'm also on in the over 70s group. Stitching is all I want to do. It's like an addiction. I know it's addiction for everybody. I know. And this is a weird thing because, you know, I talked about this before. I'm one of those people who've been doing sort of, you know, crafts, and I love knitting and sewing since I was a kid. But I kind of just cycle through all sorts of things. You know, I used to knit quite a lot. I'll make something for every winter, and also I buy sort of craft magazines. There's a really good one called Molly Makes in the UK, and it's got a lot of like embroideries, felting, whatever it is. And I used to buy them, and I'll just go through those projects and try to, you know, do different things. But since I discovered, you know, full coverage, I just couldn't stop doing it. I just don't want to do anything else. I just want new starts and build up like 20 whips at a time. And I just want to stitch. Weird, isn't it? Why is that, I wonder? And now I don't even have time to knit. It's terrible. There's only so much time in a day. I just want to stitch. Why is that? Carla is here. Carla Rebello says, hi Yogi and everyone. Susan Bond's retirement plan is to stitch. Very good one. Very good one. That's a great plan. You know, some guys, they retire, they just want to play golf. So why can't you just stitch? Of course you can. Of course you can. That's a great plan. And cheaper as well, probably, than golf. Well, it depends. Not if you buy, not if you buy Gecko Rouge. That's a slightly different kind of exercise. Two here. These two are done. But I think it really depends. You know, some people, like some people in the chat, says they say that they're monogamous stitchers, right? So in that sense, if you're happy to stitch a single project, you can literally just set up for one project and it will keep you busy for, God knows, years. So in that sense, it's pretty cheap as a hobby, I think. But not if you were not monogamous. It could be a little bit more expensive. Here we go. 3861. Let me pop it back. And crossed up with Siobhan. She says, hey, I'm joining now. Excellent. Welcome. Oh, River says, I've just bought a walking pad and will be delivered tomorrow, so I won't have to wait till it's cool enough outside to walk. Oh, is it still really hot? When you say walking pad, it's like a treadmill, but for walking, right? So it's not like a powered by electricity like normal treadmill. You just have to get it going by walking on it. I've seen those. Suzanne, what's a D-Rocks? She says D-Rocks will be cheaper than cross stitch. I don't know what that is. What's a D-Rock? Here we go. Next color. Let's see how many stitches for the next one. 18, yes. And a beautiful green as well. My goodness. 597. 597. Oh, gorgeous color. Gorgeous. Look at this. It's this color of the ocean. Deep ocean. Joy says, same here. I used to knit mostly socks, but now I only want to stitch. It's weird, isn't it? Joys. It's like a rabbit hole. Once you dive, you've fallen in, you can't get out. A very happy rabbit hole. No complaints here. Just something so calming about stitching. You know, I get that with knitting as well. But for some reason, with knitting, I would do periodically, but want to switch to do something else from time to time. And whereas this, you know, by switching different pieces and different fabric counts, you know, you get very different experience and you just want to keep going. Roxy says, if I was a monogamous stitcher, I could finish a mini in like 4 months. Well, it depends on how many stitches you put in per day, isn't it? So, if you stitch like some of our viewers here for 8 hours, you can probably finish it, I don't know, 9 pages. Maybe you can finish it even quicker. Who knows? There's some super speed stitchers here in the chat. The stitching athletes here. This color is so pretty. Suzanne says, same with me. I do so many different crafts. All I want to do is stitch right now. It's interesting, isn't it? I have tried knitting socks. Not very successful, I have to say. I don't know whether you know this company called Wool and a Gang, I think. They do sort of kits and things, knitting kits. And I used to buy sort of, you know, knitting patterns and kits from them. And they do one with socks. And man, they come out different sizes on different sides. And I try to wear them for a couple of times and they just become so big. They stretch so badly. They turn into like Christmas, you know, those socks, the big socks you can put presents in about a week. So that wasn't very good. And it took me a while to stitch both of them, but they just came out like in different sizes. I don't know. I follow the same pattern. So socks are difficult, I think. Oh, actually, let me bring this thread over there. A few more here. And I don't mind carrying my thread over because it's unstitched area. So it's this one over here. Heather says, I also knit, crochet. Oh, I love crocheting as well. If I have time to do it. And quilt, paint, and sew. But cross stitches too, so time consuming. I rarely do others anymore. I'm addicted. Heather, I'm with you. I love all these things you mentioned. I used to sew as well. I tried to learn how to make clothes, do pattern making and stuff like that. But yeah, I just kind of just stitch nowadays. And also because stitching, once you get the kind of, you know, all the fabric set up and everything, it's just a matter of picking it up and get the thread and you can stitch. Whereas sewing and stuff is a lot more involved. You need to get, you know, sewing machines out. You need a larger space to work on a pattern for the fabric. You need to cut the fabric. It's just a lot more involved. But I think stitching is a little bit like knitting. You just need to pick it up and you can start doing it. And that makes it easy. You can do it, you know, anywhere. As some people doing it when they're out there doing picnic. I see pictures on our group and people were stitching at the airport, in the great outdoors, anywhere you like. You can't do that with sewing, can you? Let me see if I can squeeze in 3 more stitches with this bit of thread here. Oh, stitching dangerously. Let's see if I can manage 3 stitches. There, done it. With a little bit to spare. Beautiful. Oh, cross stop with chevron. She says, I'm a monogamous stitcher and I complete a project in a month or 2, depending on the size. I love it. Wow, a month or 2. I can probably manage a page in a month, if at all. Next color, 18 stitches. 169. 169. Oh, River explains the walking paths. So it's electric. So can you cheat? So the bell just keeps moving. Do you need to walk or does it walk for you? Ah, so there are tricks to sock making. I just follow the pattern and it just came out all weird. So I wasn't too happy with that. But knitting socks involves quite a lot of techniques though, so it's not for the faint-hearted, you know, because you're creating very unusual shapes. 6, 9. And I used to do, I was really into this thing called applique. I don't know whether you've done it. You basically take like scraps of fabric and you incorporate embroidery around it, and you can create all sorts of things. You can create, you know, literally like human figure, animals, anything. It's quite fun. But nowadays, no time to do those. I just want to stitch 1, 2 here. Let's have a look. There's another stitch down here. It's coming along quite nicely. It's forming some sort of shape here. Suzanne says, Yogi, I have a free vanilla sock pattern on my Rivalry. Oh, I'm familiar with the site actually. There are a lot of vendors and designers on there. It's like Etsy for, I don't know, stitching and sewing, that kind of stuff. Oh, it's really good for sock knitters. Yeah. I have mixed feelings about sock knitting. Probably the material as well. For some reason, it just stretched so much. And so it just didn't maintain the shape. I don't know. Maybe it's the yarn as well. I don't know. So I thought, well, you know, I spent so much time trying to knit a pair of socks. I wore them for a week and they turned into Christmas socks. You know, so I kind of just left it. Uh-oh, I think I caught the other end. Let me loosen this a little bit. Hello. Let me see if I can loosen this. It's turning into 4 strands. Hello. Here we go. Oh. Beautiful. Got it. Thanks, Susan. I'll have a look at it. Heather says, I love making socks. My granddaughter says it's not a birthday unless she gets socks from Nana. That's so sweet. Yeah, socks are difficult. Quite difficult to make. I like making blankets though, because blankets, it doesn't matter what size, you know, you can be a bit sort of free with the tension, it doesn't matter. It always comes out okay, pretty good most of the time. So that I'm going to end it here because I'm taking the thread over to the right. Or I can do a yogi move by doing a pin stitch on the outside area and take the thread over to the other end without crossing over the stitch area. So the next stitch is actually over here. So if I take it straight from this stitch over there, it's going to cross a whole bunch of stitches there, which I don't want to do. So normally I do a pin outside the area and then take it back to the new location. Is the yogi move. It's known as a yogi move in a trade. You can steal it, borrow it. It's yours. It's free. It's free. And I'm moving it back. Oh, can you wash them? Can you wash sort of knitted socks? Well, you can hand wash them. If you want machine wash them, they just turn into something else. Turn into scarves. At least my socks will turn into scarves. River says, Yogi, what was it about the Paco-ish organizers that got on your nerves? Because these are really starting to wear my patience. Well, I don't mind it. Those were the first proper organizers I bought. I didn't know you can make your own, and so I've got about 10 of them now. That I don't use anymore. I think they were okay when I was doing sort of DMC, not DMC, the dimensions type of kits. You know, normally involves about 25 colors. So all of them fit on a single organizer. But I think each organizer can only hold, I can't remember, less than 50 or something like that. Have I counted it correctly? Or 40, something like that. And it's okay. You can park the needles as well. But I just find them really sort of space consuming. It takes up a lot of space. And also if you go over a certain number of threads, colors, you need multiple organizers, and then it just gets messy because then you need to know which colors are on which organizer. So I kind of just eventually gave up on them once I started doing sort of full coverage that involves a lot more colors. But they're okay if you're doing samplers and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's a little bit, quite fiddly. I mean, imagine doing full colors, which is about 230 colors. You need about 6 of them to accommodate all the colors. So it's not really sustainable. It's not practical to use. Yogi move is great. Oh, so there's particular kind of yarn that you can wash. Because majority of them you can't. You just can't. They don't like water that much. Nikki says you have to use at least 2. Yes, I think a single one, you can put about maybe 50. So for regular colors, it's about 90. You can, so yeah, it's about okay. But then you need to know which, you need to order them, which one, have the lower numbers of thread and the other one, etc. It just gets fiddly. So that's it. Otherwise, it's an interesting idea. I remember when I first saw them, I had no idea what they were. They looked so weird. And then I had to watch YouTube, the good old YouTube videos, to even learn how to use them. They're quite an odd looking thing. Oh, okay. Suzanne says 30 for the small ones and 50 for the large ones. Yeah, I had those blue and white ones. I think there were probably about 50 colors each organizer. Yeah, max colors, you can do the math. You need about 6 of them. So it gets very messy very quickly. Nikki, how do you put 90 colors on 50 slots? My math isn't good. Even I know that's probably not going to happen. Okay, 18 stitches. This one, 6, 4, 8, 6, 4, 8. We're moving up. We're moving up. 6, 4, 8. This one, I'll need to top up the thread very, very soon. I've only got 4 strands left. What? Nikki? Nikki says, I bought Paco's for a 4 DMC set? You mean for all 500 colors? Jesus, you need a spare room just to store those Pacos. They take up a lot of space. Ah, river. So you need 3 to accommodate 106 colors. Why don't you make those floss DIY ones? They're so compact and cheap, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. That's my whole book here. That's it. That's my whole set. That's it. This is it. That's my whole set of DMC all here. I can park, I can load quite a lot of threads here. Just make these. Trust me. Trust me when Yogi tells you to make your organizer, you'll be happier as a stitcher. Suzanne, are you on 20 stitches? Congratulations. That's a great number. Joyce, yes, they're Parcos. I think they're the OGs, aren't they? And there are some very similar ones in all sorts of colors, I noticed. I don't know whether you need a copyright. I suppose they probably patent it because it's such an odd design. But who knows? How do you stop it? When you have a great idea, people try to borrow it or steal it. It's just the way it is. So I've got 18 stitches of this color. 1, 2. So nice to stitch. It's big chunky stitches. There. Let me take a sip of my tea. River says, I'm in the process of making one like Yogi's, but I wonder how much is going to matter that the holes don't hold up perfectly. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just need them sort of away from the edges enough that it's not gonna, be too close. It weakens the structure a little bit, but otherwise, no. Because I actually had I used Illustrator to create a pattern. Maybe I'll share that at some point. I don't know, because some of you might not want big ones like this, but I do have a PDF templates. If you have a printer, you can just print it out. Because I used to use symbols as well, so I have them sort of space reserved for symbols. I'll try to get organized and share that PDF. It's somewhere on my computer there. But there are various ways of making cards. Like if you look at Joy's, she just used the PDF from Heaven and Earth, and just use that. So it doesn't matter if the holes are lining up because they function the same. I mean, it looks nicer when it's uniform, but ultimately it doesn't matter. They're just there to hold the thread. Jackie says, Yogi, you should make those cards and sell. I will buy them. No, I think this one, because I created them quite a while ago, I'll share it for free. I don't mind that. But you do need to have a printer though. So you can just print them on. Most printers can print cardboards. Not too thick, but I managed to print on cardboards, and so you don't need to do anything else to strengthen them, because some of them print on regular A4 papers and then strengthen the surface with clear tapes. Or if you're fancy like Joyce, I think she's got a special machine to apply a layer of plastic on top of the paper. But you don't need to, you just use, if you can print cardboard, you just print on cardboard. It works the same. Nikki. But I think, you know, floss organization is kind of a evolution, isn't it? Because people might prefer one way of organizing it for a while and then move on to something else. And ultimately, gradually, you find the one you know, it's kind of your favorite and you stay with it. But yeah, I always try to pick up tips from others and see how I can evolve my method. So, but so far so good. I really like my current, you know, organizers. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. If you use it day in and day out and it's working, then it's working. It just is. One, two, three, and then 3 more on the side there. Yes, Nikki. Joy's systems version is quite compact, but I believe Joy's Joy's tend to have like separate set for different projects, so it's not a master set. If you create a master set, it would be slightly more in volume. It's just the way it is. But it shouldn't be too bad. If you go have a look at the stitching masterpieces, it's very similar to the way she does it. Okay, I'm going to end this one, and there's 3 more stitches in slightly different location. Let's have a look. There's one over here. Lakika is joining the chat. She says, hello, loving the color flow of this area. I know. It just, without knowing, it's starting to form some sort of pattern, you know, from this block from the left here. Sometimes when you're stitching this way, you're just not noticing what you're stitching because you're so focused on stitching in the right location and the colors, etc. But once you take a break and zoom out, you realize what's happening with all the stitches. Over here. And I'm going to take it down here for 2 more stitches. Hopefully I'll make it with this bit of thread here. Done. There. Amazing. Then moving on to the next color. 19 stitches, yay! River says, yeah, Yogi, I will buy your templates too. Oh, everyone, thank you. That is so kind. River says, I have the larger hole puncher. I mean, yes, personally, I prefer the 1 centimeter. It's slightly larger because I like to load a lot of threads on the organizer, so I don't have to go back and forth constantly try to top it up within reason. I mean, and now I have the protection of the bag underneath, so I'm not worried about, you know, having more threads. Load up a little bit more. Whereas before the bag idea came along, yeah, I was slightly concerned because after a while, you know, the threads start to kind of catch fluff and dust and everything. So, but now it's nice and protected. It's all good. Oh, Nikki, are you asking me about the punch, the holes? So let me see if I can find it. I've got it here. This is kind of a regular hole puncher, whatever it's called, and this one it's got a slightly bigger one, 1 centimeter, and it's quite robust, and it will punch through I stacked 2 layers of the cards at a time, and you know, still punch through quite nicely. It's a little bit of sort of elbow grease for sure when you punch so many cards, but that just, you know, that's just the way it is. You don't have to do it that often. Yes, Joyce has a laminator. What does it look like? Is it quite big? That's a really good idea because then you can just print on regular A4 and just strengthen it with the lamination. Carla Rebello asks, Yogi, do you make a boomerang thing with 2 strands? Good question. No. When you say 2 strands, you mean full cross 2 strands, like large stitches like this? No, because there's no need for me to do a boomerang. You could, but because with full cross, I tend to end with the tuck-in method. It's nice and quick, and it's quite secure. So boomerang, most of the times I use it for 10 stitches, because 10 stitches, there are not that many methods available for ending. And yesterday I've also used the technique for sort of single stitches, kind of floating in the middle of nowhere, and it's quite secure with boomerang. So I pick and choose, and I'm lazy, so I try to, you know, I tend to use the ones that's easiest that I can get away with. So with, you know, 14 count large stitches like this, I just do a sort of tuck-in method. 414, 19 stitches. 414. I'll dig out my PDF and maybe post it on our Facebook group. I'll try to be organized. Is there somewhere hidden in my computer? Jackie, where did I stitch wrong? Tell me. It's too late to fix anyway. But it's good to know. Or maybe I shouldn't ask. I just pretend you didn't say that. Because it's not unusual for Yogi to stitch incorrectly. But I try to hide it, you see. If no one notices, I just pretend it never happened and just move on with my life. No one knows. So let's have a look here. Lisa's here. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a lurker here. Have you been lurking? Welcome to the chat. Trying to catch up with the chat here. Oh, Lisa says, Yogi, if your socks are real wool, you can put them in the dryer and they will felt and shrink. Just be mindful and check them every few minutes or you end up with tiny socks. Yes, currently there's scarves. Are you saying by putting them in the dryer they turn into miniature socks for babies? I don't know which one I prefer. Maybe the scarf. I know wools are so knitted items are so tricky because if you're not careful, you just shrink them to tiny things. I've done that with cardigans. So you know, all that effort that you knitted something and it just turned into toy size for Barbie dolls. Let me see down here. Natalia is going to bed. Night, Natalia. I hope you enjoyed your session of stitching. Jackie, it's too late. It's too late. I'll just pretend it didn't happen. And you didn't see it. I didn't see it. It's all good. Yes, River. It's 1 centimeter. One here. down here. I've done this one. I haven't. Oh no, Jackie's watching every move I make. I'm really nervous now. Where? Which one? So I've got this one down. And that one looks correct. I'm nervous now. I'm nervous now. So these two, yeah, so far so good. No? Let me see. Oh, I love the way he stitches. Let me see. That one is correct. Oh, this one. Oh, I see. Do you mean this one? That's a bit odd, isn't it? On the left edge. Jackie. The eagle eye of Jackie. Oh, Sharon spotted it as well. Oh my God. I've got two people watching every move I make. You're not supposed to pay attention. No one else does. Okay? Yes, I see where it is now. It's over here, isn't it? I've got, so what happened here? Let me see. I've got this one here. On the left, that's correct. This one, okay, it's the top one. That's off. That's okay. That's okay. No one will notice. Okay? Even I didn't notice. Seriously. Okay. So I would just stitch over it when the time comes. No one will know. No one will know. So as far as this color goes, everything's good. So far. Oh, okay. There's another one. Oh, no. That's okay. That's okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Jackie. Yes. And, you know, there's a post. Why don't I send a link out? Because quite a few people asked in the comments as well about Saga. And not many people, let me just bring this one out. Not many people look on the post section of this channel. There is a link I sent out. I posted a while ago that basically captures, let me see if I can bring this one out. It's a little bit tricky. It's very clumsy. I'm trying to see if I could click on the post itself. I'm gonna just send a link to the post section of my channel. So there's a post under there that captures the instructions on how to get it working, whether you're on iOS or Android. Because quite a lot of people asking about Saga, and the only thing I can do is to direct you to the post, and you can have a look and see if you can get it working, because it's not straightforward. I'll give you that. It's not the easy peasy plug and play situation. But if you're really interested in getting the app working, there is a way. So go to the post and have a look if you want to get the app working. So here, I'm going to just tuck under here. So this is what I normally do to end. If you're wondering why I'm not doing boomerang, because it's not necessary. I just tuck my thread under a stitch. And that's it. Oh, Sarah's got cold coffee. Yes, I like cold coffee. Here we go. So this one is done. I can mark all the stitches. 20 stitches for the next one. Beautiful blue, slightly grayish. 161. Yes. Got a thread here. Would this be enough for 20 stitches with this piece? I wonder. Ooh. It may or may not happen. Let's see how it goes. Right. This is so pretty. Nikki's exchanging notes about ECC. Extreme cross country, if you didn't know the lingo. ECC. Wow, it's starting to take shape here. It's really pretty. Two down here. See if I can manage 3 more stitches with this piece of thread. last one in this area. Just about. There. And I've got 9 more to go. I'm going to start a new thread, 161. I need 2 strands. Nikki, you're 4,500 stitches into sweet shop. How do you manage? And you're stitching other pieces as well. Are you stitching sweet shop today, or you're doing studio? My studio. Because you've gone pretty far with my studio as well, and your kitchen piece, the old kitchen. I just don't know, there's some aliens in this chat. They're just stitching sort of ungodly amount of stitches a day. I don't know how you do it. You know, on good days, I do 200. Not so good days, 160, okay? That's it. Take it or leave it, 160. I think I did about 160 yesterday. That wasn't too bad for 3 hours. There. Doesn't want to go down. Right, so I've got these 3. Let me figure out where I am. Here. And I'm moving down this way. Yes, Nikki is the power stitcher. She doesn't wear helmets. She doesn't wear safety belt or fluorescent vest. She just charges forward. Cheryl says 160 is great for the confetti you did. Oh, Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl understands me. Yes, it was very confetti, you know, 1 stitch at a time. Yes, 160 is it's pretty amazing, okay? For confetti. Oh. Exactly. And next time when someone goes, you know, I just did like 1,000 a day, they need to qualify it by saying, is it a confetti area or is it like all black, you know, or 310? It's a different deal here. One more stitch of this beautiful color. Amazing. There. Oh, I can see what's happening here. Look. Oh, can see it happening. Beautiful. I love this heart. I really enjoyed it when I finished it. When I filled up that area. There. Right, 161. Let me have a drink of my tea. Night night joys, beauty sleep time. It's midnight over where Joyce is. So night night to Joyce, 99. Oh, Nikki's going to CrossFit soon. What, you know, look at her. Power stitching and power CrossFit session. Amazing. Enjoy your session. It's good to move the body. 931. 931. Nikki. Nikki's parting message for everyone is, I extreme cross-country confetti. Thank you very much. Enjoy your not cross-stitching, CrossFit session. Wear your helmet. 931, this one, 2 strands. And Gritty as well, 99. You're in the same time zone as Joyce. So have a lovely, lovely, sweet dreams of cupcakes and reindeers and all that kind of stuff. And Suzanne is having a break as well. Suzanne, is you're 1 hour ahead of me or the same as me? I think you're 1 hour ahead as well, which means it's midnight over there. So you're allowed to go to bed. Well done. Well done for the day. You've done very, very well. And I'll see if I can keep it going for a couple of more colors here. because it's really fun. So we're here. These two are done. Oh, very nice. A nice snack before bedtime, Suzanne. Enjoy your snacks and sweet dreams. Stitching is just like exercise. You know, it takes a little bit of time to warm up and get it flowing. Oh, hello, Dolly. That's my little kitty. Hello, babe. How are you? Oh, sweetie. You all right? Just seeking for attention as usual. And let me bring my thread over here. Two more here. I might do a yogi maneuvering here because there's too many. The next stitch is over here from the last stitch, which is kind of up here. And for me, that's just a couple of stitches too far. So what I'm going to do is to do a pin in the unstitched area here, just to anchor the thread away, and then come back here. So I think there's one stitch missing there. So there's one stitch missing there. That's another color, but I'm going to just stitch over it with this color. No one will know. No one will know. There. Just move it up a little bit. 3 more to go, I think. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, 8 more. Okay. Hello, Dolly. What's up? And one more over here. I'm gonna, I might be able to take my thread over because it's mostly unstitched, but I might run out of my thread at some point. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how it goes. Live dangerously. Live dangerously. There. This bit is looking really good, isn't it? Let's see if we can manage the final 3 stitches with this tiny piece of thread. There. Very nice. Oh, look at that. There's something so satisfying about 14 counts because it takes up a lot of real estate. So you feel like you're literally creating this stitch area right in front of your eyes so quick. There. And let's see if I can manage one more color here. Yes, we can. Oh my God, the next one's 26 stitches. 26. Let's have a look. 6, 4, 7. 6, 4, 7. Let me take a sip of my tea. Six, 4, 7. This one is kind of greenish gray. I would say there's some gray in there. So 26 stitches with this color. There. So I'm going to start from this end. mark as I go so I don't lose my way. Two. Dolly's purring like crazy. So I think there's one missing here for some reason. I'm going to just, whoops, stitch over it and pretend it never happened. Let me have a look. Why is it like this? 1, 2, 3. Okay. And that one, 1, 2, 3. I think I know what's happening. Let's have a look. There. There's one more here. I literally have to mark one stitch at a time as I move forward, because otherwise it's I'm gonna get lost very quickly, because they were in different random locations. Three more here. Let me see how far I can go with the remaining thread. One more stitch here. And I might be able to manage 3 more down the left before I run out. Fingers crossed. And these 3, I'm going to make it the last ones tonight. It's a beautiful ending with this color, and it's getting really short as well. Perfect. Oh dear. There. And then I'm going to show you how many stitches. How many stitches I've done tonight. There. Beautiful. Have a look at this. So pretty. And it's taking shape there. So let me zoom out a little bit. Let me remove this. So this is what I've done. So earlier this evening, I thought maybe I'll have some, I'll take a break from here and maybe pop over there to finish the remaining stitches. But I was very focused on this area. There's quite a lot going on here. And so let me show you my app here. So this is the area I've been working on, and let me just remove the highlighter there. So this is the totality of the piece here. This is where I am, upper left there. So I'm slowly building up this kind of blue strip. Let me just refer to the markup there. So you can see there's a heart shape on the left there, and I'm following the top part. I don't know how to call it, almost like an arch, sort of on top of the design there. So this is where I am right now. And it's not confetti as much as such, but there are quite a lot of colors involved in this block alone. So I'll continue to work on this area there to fill it up, and occasionally maybe pop around the frame, the outer edge, to complete those more sort of monotone area that, I tend to get a little bit fatigued if I have to kind of, work through them before I can get to the center area. I'm just not very patient. So this is my way of working. And let's have a look at the stack here. So let me just highlight that so it gives me numbers of this block as well. So upper left there, okay, I'm still under 5, but I'm moving closer to 5%. And if you look at the upper left, where it says percentage there, and with the sprint here, let me just pause it. Okay, not too bad at all, considering so many color changes. So 2.5 hours, I've done 207 stitches. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And thank you, Carla, and thank you, Sarah. She says it looks pretty. I know it does, doesn't it? And this way of stitching, because you're so engrossed in the actual, you know, try to stitch in the correct location, and also the area is kind of blocked off. You focus on the 6th block area. So until you kind of zoom out, you don't really notice, you don't realize what you're stitching exactly. So let me just switch back to this view here and zoom out a little bit. So this is where I am. Really, really pretty. And I love the fact that you can see the cross as well, because a lot of times when you're working on sort of high fabric counts, you kind of lose sight of the shape of the stitches, which is really pretty. Crosses are really pretty. So Stitchy Fiver, thank you very much. Good night, everyone. I know Stitchy Fiver is also in the UK, so we're in 11:30 here, approaching midnight. So night, Stitchy Fiver. Thank you for being around here to keep me company, and hope you enjoy your session as well. And Lisa as well. Lisa says, fantastic stitching, Yogi. Thank you so much. Yes, so you like the app. Yes, it's a really fun way of stitching. It's just another alternative way, you know, other than the usual parking and cross country. This is, you know, you can define any size area, any shape, and you can just focus on that area and color complete. It's really fun to do. And Rajal as well looks really pretty. Good night, everyone. Good night, Rajal. And good night, Sarah. And with that, Yogi signing out. And I hope to see you in the next session with another piece. I hope you enjoy today with Kim's design, or whatever you've been stitching tonight. So, from the sleepy London town, I'm going to bid you nighty-night. Night-night, everyone. I'll see you in the next session. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Good night, everyone.